Hello students, in this module we are going to learn about the minerals and energy resources in India, and under the category of conventional sources of energy we are going to deal with petroleum. So what is petroleum? The word petroleum has been derived from two Latin words, petro meaning rocks and oleum meaning oil. So petroleum is an oil which is derived from rock. So the name is given petroleum. It is a mineral oil obtained from underground fields in the sedimentary rocks like sandstone, shale and limestone. So these are the sedimentary rocks in which the marine plants and animals were trapped millions and millions of years ago, and they were turned to petroleum and natural gas. Now it is an inflammable liquid, means it's because of its high inflammability it is versatile, and that's why it is often known as liquid gold or black gold. Petroleum is said to have been derived from organic plants and animals life which was buried in large quantity under the earth in the distant past. As I told you earlier, long back, millions of years ago, dead marine plants and animals were buried, and they were trapped in the layers of sedimentary rocks, and then they were prevented for complete decomposition. They could not decompose completely, but there was heat and pressure that led to the physical and chemical change and led to the formation of oil and natural gas. So this is how petroleum and natural gas was formed. Now see the picture carefully. If I zoom in, this is the condition millions of years ago. This is the sea floor you can see, and the ocean, and the organisms, the marine animals and plants are there. Now in this you can see the layers, sediments are brought and deposited layer by layer, and in this bed of sedimentary layers, the marine plants and animals, the dead remains of marine plants and animals were trapped. So after they were trapped, they turned in millions of years under heat and pressure, they turned into natural gas and oil. You can see here natural gas, and this is oil. I'll zoom in the picture, you can understand. So this is the oil below, and the gas being lighter is accumulated over the top. So gas lies above and below is the oil. This is petroleum, this is natural gas. Let's proceed. This is a petroleum well. So how we get petroleum? Petroleum is, this is layer 1 which is impervious, this layer 2 which is again impervious, means non-porous. They do not allow any substance to enter. In between the layer, two impervious layer, there is a pervious layer in between, and this layer has oil and natural gas. We dig a well and we extract oil and natural gas. So gas being lighter is at the top and oil being heavier is at the bottom. So this is how a petroleum well is. Now distribution of petroleum in India. So how and where is petroleum found in India? So the major oil bearing areas in India are spread over the northern plains, especially in the valleys of Brahmaputra and Surma in Assam, Thar Desert, Gujarat plains, the Andaman and Nicobar Island, and the coastal strips. So these are the major oil bearing areas in India. Now the important areas of mineral oil deposit offshore, sea near Mumbai, Assam Valley and Gujarat and Gulf of Khambat. Now children, there are two types of areas. Offshore means, this is offshore, this means away from the shore, mainland in the water, and Assam Valley and Gujarat, they are inland areas where petroleum can be extracted. This is a map of petroleum reserves in India. You can see the Gulf of Cambay or Khambat. This is Mumbai High, and this is area of Upper Assam Basin. These are the areas. Apart from this, the highlighted areas are basins, and prospective basin means there are possibility of oil being here. So in future, with the advancement of technology, if oil is there, it can be extracted. Now the distribution. There are two categories, the oil fields in eastern region and the oil fields in the western region of India. Let's see Oil fields in eastern region are in northeast India, Digboy in Assam, Naharkatia, Moran, and so on. There are all these districts and areas of oil in Assam. Oil fields in Assam are mostly far from the consumption area, and some are not even accessible also. We can't even reach, it's very far. So therefore most of the oil refineries are located near the oil field. So what are oil refineries, children? We will deal in the same chapter later on. Actually these are factories where oil is made thin because petroleum by nature is very thick and it cannot be used. It is in crude form, raw form. So it has to be refined to make petrol, diesel, etc. Now, the oil fields have also been set up in Arunachal Pradesh and Tripura. Apart from Assam, also in Arunachal Pradesh and Tripura. Now, the oil fields in the western region. Oil fields are scattered over large area, Gujarat to Maharashtra, and after independence most of the oil producing centers are Ankleshwar, Navagaon and so on. So like this, these are the oil fields of western region. Now children, where is petroleum found? In the sedimentary rocks. So I told you petroleum is found in the sedimentary rocks, but where? So a sedimentary rock, if I show you the structure, a sedimentary rock is folded in such a way. This is called anticline and this depression is called syncline. Anticline and syncline. So the anticline is the uplifted portion and the syncline is the depressed portion. Here you can see this is the anticline. So in the anticlinal rock, part of the sedimentary fold, oil and natural gas are found. So this is where petroleum is found, in the layers of sedimentary rocks. So offshore oil fields in India. Now we have seen about the inland oil fields of Assam, and the offshore oil fields are in Mumbai and Gujarat. So let us see. Children, there is an offshore piled platform structure. So away from the main land, the oil is drilled from the seabed, and this is the setup. Now distribution of petroleum, that is offshore oil fields, is a complex structure of economic extraction, transportation of petroleum and natural gas. You know, these stations, they extract, take out the oil, transport with the help of pipeline to the refineries. Now ONGC is the largest company in India which surveyed lot of area like Gulf of Kutch, Khambat, Krishna, Godavari, Delta and Sundarban, but it successfully found oil in Mumbai High, Bassein and Alibut. So these are the important centers where oil is found. Now let's proceed. See, this ONGC, oil producing plants, I'll enlarge it, children. You can see here, this is the offshore oil drilling plant, and with the help of pipeline, the gas is being carried here, and with the help of pipeline, petrol is being carried by this pipeline. So like this, oil and petrol both are carried to the refineries. Now these again the petroleum reserve map in India, and these are the areas Mumbai and in Gujarat. This region has mostly offshore oil drilling region of India. Now the next, distribution of petroleum. So Mumbai High, it is 176 km away from Mumbai in the Arabian Sea. So in the Arabian Sea is the Mumbai High, 176 km away from mainland of Mumbai, and this is one of the most promising oil field, and here you know self-propelling jack is used to drill the platform. Self-propelled means it is done automatically and it is known as Sagar Samrat. This drilling platform is known as Sagar Samrat. Now the offshore oil fields are also at Bassein, located to the south. If we go little south of Mumbai High, we find Bassein, and Alibut is the oil field in the Gulf of Khambat. Children, this is the Gulf of Khambat. Now let's proceed with the uses of petroleum. So being a very popular conventional source, it's highly in use. It is a compact and convenient fuel, and it has revolutionized land, water and air transport. No doubt children, petrol is required in aircrafts, in buses, trains, vehicles, all the vehicles. So it has revolutionized the transportation system. It does not emit smoke and ash like coal, and it is used also for generation of power. So these are the uses of petroleum. You can see the list. We make liquid petroleum gas that we use for cooking. We make petrol, we make kerosene, we make diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin, wax, and so on. There is a long list of products we can use the petroleum. We can make from petroleum. Now children, as I told you, we will discuss about oil refineries. So what are oil refineries? See, this is actually an industrial setup or a factory where oil is made thin by adding water. It is refined to make petrol, diesel, kerosene oil, turpentine oil, and a long list of products. So the crude oil is obtained from oil wells. Crude means oil, petroleum in its raw form. It needs to be refined. You know, in 1954 in India, there was only one oil refinery at Digboi in Assam. At present, we have 18 oil refineries. So it's a big achievement. Which are the companies or organizations responsible for production, processing, and also marketing of oil in India are Indian Oil Corporation, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation, Bharat Petroleum Corporation. These are the oil corporations. They are involved in refining oil in public sector. Children, the meaning of public sector is under the government control. So these are government organizations. Now, Reliance Industry in the private sector. So earlier we discussed these. They were government sector, means public sector. But Reliance Industry is a private sector, private limited, and it is actually also involved in coastal drilling. That is, in Mumbai and Kochi, they have their oil refineries. So 2 coastal oil refineries in India are at Mumbai and Kochi, and the 2 inland oil refineries are at Mathura and Digboi. So children, this is an important information. You need to learn about at least 2 places or areas where coastal oil is refined and 2 areas where inland oil is refined. Now this is the map of the refineries in India. Thank you very much. This was all in this module. If you like the content, do subscribe the channel so that you can get all the videos related to this topic.